I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Daytona. Ed Harris, John Tobias have the front row. Greg Boydell and Andy Patton on the second. Mayor Bixler and Pops Cramner on the third row. Roger Craig, Bob Curtis have the fourth. Terry Landis and Pat Boyce round out the top 10. Tim Chapman starting in 11th next to Armando in 12th. Mr. Maurer in 13th. Cale Bixler in 14th. And Stu Wright rounding out the 15-car field here tonight. Hey, good evening, Brian. How are you? All right, here they come, rolling off pit road. It is worth reminding everybody, Retreads Racing is 55 and older. So if you're on iRacing and over 55, you're welcome to sign up. Also worth reminding everybody, they have damage turned off for this race. So everybody can make it to the end. And man, we have seen some close finishes and some great racing out of these guys, especially this season as the league has really grown. Hey, good evening, Ty. A little bit, buddy. A little bit. All right, here they come through 3 and 4. Brian? Nope, not yet, buddy. Ty, I completely understand that, and if that were the case, I would back you 100%. All right, sun goes down, lights come up, pace car goes in. And the green flag flies. We are underway at Daytona. Everybody heads off into 1 and 2. Remember, lap and a half to get these trucks up to full speed. Does look like a few guys have dropped back a little bit. Maurer, Bixler, and Wright all dropping back early. Meanwhile, Ed Harris quickly to the lead, but Andy Patton up on the high side on the attack. Richie close, but not close enough. And across the line, Ed Harris leads lap 1. And starting to see a few guys getting a little racy mid-pack, trying to make their way to the front here early, and a lot of bobbling. You gotta be kind of envious of this group because, whoa, we've got a problem. Ed Harris had a bit of a bobble, went below the apron, managed to get the truck back up on track. Man, a few close calls on that one. As I was saying, you gotta kind of envy these guys. The trucks are definitely the most fun to drive on these super speedways. Pops Cramner right behind, pushing Andy Patton up top. John Tobias giving the push to Ed Harris up front. Oh! Looks like corner entry. These guys may be struggling a little bit here. Corner entry and mid-turn, we see a lot of bobbling coming out of the turn, though. You just see a lot of momentum. Top three have gone, now the top four have gone single file. Now Pops Cramner is going to stay up top and hope for some help. Help is on the way. Pops trying to work the side draft a little bit. Mayor Bixler closing in. Oh! Cramner's in the wall. The caution is out. Chaos here early. Mayor Bixler, Armando Melgoza, Pat Boyce, Pops Cramner, Bob Curtis, Tim Chapman, all involved or trying to avoid it. Let's see what happened. Taking a look down from the blimp here. Oh, looks like Cramner came down and turned into one. Take another look at this from the blimp. It looked like Pops came down, just got into the 041, and that's when it all went wrong. About half the field made it through the grass unscathed. Several of them just bumping around, but everybody ends up pointed the right way. Pops Cramner, Mayor Bixler have gone to pit road. Mr. Maurer also on pit road. Ed Harris, John Tobias, Tim Chapman also coming in. Likely just going to be fuel only for most of these guys. Everybody rolling back out as quick as possible without getting a speeding penalty, and they are stacking up in 1 and 2. Ed Harris, John Tobias out front. Roger Craig, Armando Melgoza on the second row. Andy Patton, Cale Bixler on the third. Greg Boydell, Pat Boyce, Stu Wright, Tim Chapman rounding out the top 10. And I don't think it's too early to get a little bit loud here. So what do you say on the restart? I'm going to stop talking and let you guys crank it up and listen to all the horsepower. All right, here they come out of turn 4. Pace car dives to pit road. And here we go. The green flag flies. Crank it up, y'all. Well, we'll try that again here in a minute. Looks like a problem on the restart for Armando Melgoza. Let's see what happened with Armando. Oh, he came down just across the nose of another truck. Big spin through the infield. Taking a look down from the blimp. Oh no, the 87 comes up as Armando comes down. They meet in the middle. Fortunately, everybody will keep going. Now we took a look at the track conditions during practice. However, the sun going down, the lights coming up, the air temperature has dropped to 83, the track temp down to 85. It's definitely going to give him a wee bit more grip and a wee bit more speed. Looks like the driver's trying to hunt down the pace car. The pace car does from time to time get lost. Armando Melgoza and Cale Bixler have both gone to pit road, likely topping off on fuel. Lights are out as they catch up to the pace car. They'll begin to stack up and get ready to go back racing, and we're going to try and crank it up again. Armando and Cale both back out on track and catching up. Most of the field is stacked up and ready to go. All right, here they come out of turn 4. Pace car shoots the pit road. And here we go again. Green flag is back in the air. Crank it up, y'all. Coming down the back straightaway, everybody getting to full speed. Oh, we've got one around. Two trucks involved. They're back up on track. No caution yet. Now the caution will fly. Look like Roger Craig, one of the trucks involved with that. Let's see if we can see what happened. Oh, looks like a bad bump to the 92. Sends them both down to the apron. Ed Harris in the 92, one of the trucks that had led here early, but just a bad bump. He does get straightened out and going again. So Tim Chapman has the lead over Tobias and Cramner. Stu Wright, though, at the moment, the biggest mover is we've got a lot of them coming in. Hobbs Cramner pitted a few laps ago. Looks like everybody who pitted early is staying out. Stu Wright had made his way up into third place, up 11 spots. And now Cale Bixler up 12 spots into second. Looks like most drivers are doing fuel only on their stops. A few have taken tires. In fact, Ed Harris, Roger Craig, Bob Curtis, and Mr. Maurer appear to all be taking tires. Everybody getting stacked back up, ready to go. Hops will be in control of the restart. Greg Boydell, who was involved in that early incident, is already back up into third place. As the pace car dives to pit road, here we go. Green flag is back in the air. Hobbs Cramner may be making a mistake. He has jumped out ahead. Unlike other tracks, here at Daytona and at Talladega, you jump too far ahead. The cars behind are going to have a ton of momentum when they come flying by you. He tried to hold them off, but that outside line, led by Cale Bixler and Terry Landis. Bixler to the lead. Now Landis has a run up top. Coming out of turn 4, down the front straightaway. Everybody just inches apart. You sneeze wrong at these speeds, you're going to have a problem. And it looks like they are trying to get 3 wide back toward the back of the pack. They settle back into 2 wide for the moment. You see how much these trucks are moving around. They just don't have a ton of grip riding along with Ed Harris at the back. Across the start-finish line. Heading down into turn 1, and the wind and the track and everything moves these trucks around. You see how close they are getting. Just inches away from disaster all the time. Oh, Ed almost got a run up the middle. He might actually take it. No, he jumps back to the high line. Heading back through 3 and 4. And out of turn 4, and you can see back behind, you really can't see a whole heck of a lot of what's going on in front of you. Oh! He gets the wall. Caution is out. Looks like Bob Curtis had a problem as well. Let's see what happened. Bob gets a bad bump and it sends him to the apron. That's where we saw Ed get into the wall. He got a light tap. Take a look down from the blimp. And there is the bad bump that sent him to the infield and then back up into the wall. Greg Boydell has the lead for the moment. Greg caught up in that first caution, but has fought his way back through the field. Terry Landis in second. Cale Bixler now up 11 spots into third. At the moment, Cale is the biggest mover on track. And it looks like the bulk of the field is coming in. Mayor Bixler is staying out. Armando Melgoza stays out. Tim Chapman, Stu Wright, Roger Craig all stay on track. Everybody else is on pit road. And it looked like Terry Landis had a problem getting in his stall. And it looks like Greg Boydell will win the race off pit road. Lights are out and everybody is stacking up for the restart. Just shy of the halfway point. Everybody stacked up and ready to go. Here they come out of turn 4. Pace car is in. And green flag is back in the air. Mayor Bixler gets away and Armando slips down into the bottom lane. Tim Chapman got his run cut off. He goes to the high line. Now with help from Stu Wright, whoa, things get really bouncy. A few close calls as they come up to speed. There is a group that has fallen off the back. It's like Bob Curtis and Mr. Maurer back behind. They have got to hope for a quickie caution to get them back into the field. Mayor Bixler leads it at the halfway point. Tim Chapman almost had it at the line. That was close. Could be another repeat finish tonight with another close photo finish. Oh, Chapman gets the wall into 3. They are bouncing off each other back behind. And somehow everybody survived. Let's watch this from the blimp. There's Tim Chapman leading the outside line. They go off into 3. And wow. One truck stuck in the wall. Everybody else keeps going. Stu Wright did lose a lot of ground in that exchange, but he is still pointed the right way. And the caution is out. This is definitely going to help this group of drivers back behind. It looks like Tim Chapman may have had another problem. Taking a look down from the blimp. These two are banging on each other coming out of turn 4. More banging. Oh, bad bumps. Comes across Armando's nose. Tim goes for a spin through the infield, but he does recover it and keeps it out of the wall. Mayor Bixler still out front, followed by Greg Boydell, John Tobias, Roger Craig, and Armando holds on to 5th despite the truck coming across the nose. Pat Boyce in 6th, Ed Harris 7th, Cale Bixler in 8th, Andy Patton in 9th, Terry Landis in 10th. This also brings Stu Wright, Mr. Maurer, Bob Curtis, back into the fight. And it does look like everybody is coming in to top off. Question is this close enough for them to go the distance? I think they'll have to come in and top off again. Andy Patton stays out. Everybody rolling back out on track. And getting stacked up for the restart. Hey, good evening, DJ. How are you? All right, here they come. Pace car drops in. And the green flag flies once again at Daytona. And he stays right there close, doesn't get away from the field. Greg Boydell, holy cow, they're getting bumpy into one. Boydell leading the outside line. Sparks flying out of two. Looked like Pops Cramner may have gotten the wall coming out of turn two. Has it gathered up as they go into turn three. And Greg Boydell has the lead for the moment. But here comes Ed Harris up top. Terry Landis looked up way high. Landis looked like he was thinking about making it three wide. Now Harris gets down to the bottom. Landis leads the outside line. And look who's back behind him, Stu Wright. Already back up into the top five. John Tobias keeps peeking low like he wants to go up the middle. Three wide, back toward the back. Hobbs Cramner and Tim Chapman trying to find their way back to the front. Oh, crap. Mr. Maurer gets a little bit of the wall, lost some momentum. That was the opening Pops needed. Pops jumping up to the high line. Runs right up. What in the world? Three trucks off track, hard hit. No caution yet. Mr. Maurer did make it to pit road. And now the caution will fly. Let's take a look at that very odd series of events. Let's take a look down from the blimp. Tim Chapman in the green truck on the bottom. Oh, looks like he dove to the bottom to avoid something. Mr. Maurer, unfortunately, unable to avoid it up on the high side as he comes down. Truck just comes across the nose. He checks up, gets a bump from behind, and man, what a hit. Mayor Bixler also got a bit of the wall in that one. As we mentioned, they do have damage turned off for these races, so everybody can stick it out. Bob Curtis, Tim Chapman, both headed to pit road. And looks like Mr. Maurer is out of the race. As the lights go out on the pace car once again. We'll be at about 10 laps to go when the green flag drops. I have a feeling we're about to crank it up to 11. Everybody is stacked back up, ready to go. Looked like somebody did get confused and tried to run the bus stop on the road course there. Bob Curtis may be having some technical difficulties. Back behind, he is stopped on the apron. He is rolling again. As here comes the rest of the field. Pace car is in. Bob is catching back up, but they just got the green flag. Bob Curtis may have a little momentum here, though. He did check up as he gets to the pack, and here they come into turn one. Ten laps to go at Daytona. Everybody has to start positioning themselves where they want to be at the white flag. Oh, we've got a truck around. Big wreck behind. Caution is out. Looks like Bob Curtis, Stu Wright, Armando Melgoza, Cale Bixler all involved. Let's see what happened. Looking down from the blimp. Oh, looks like a bad bump. The top four were all nose to tail. You see John Tobias squeezed in there. I mean, that top three on the inside line, they were bump drafting down the back straightaway. Just a bad bump from behind sends Tobias spinning and collects several others. But again, no damage, so everybody will stay in the fight. Still 14 trucks on track and on the lead lap. And as we have seen in recent weeks, any one of those 14 trucks could come through the field on the final lap and pull off the win. A few trucks jump to pit road. Everybody else stays out. Terry Landis and Ed Harris now have the front row. Everybody is stacked up. About 7 laps to go when the green flag drops. All right, here they come out of turn 4. Pace car heads to pit road. Into the restart zone, the green flag flies. It'll be 7 to go at the line. Terry Landis pulls his nose just ahead. Ed Harris on the high line with help from Boydell right behind, trying to get clear up top. That outside line is starting to come in, and it is working. And, oh, Boydell came down the track. Ouch! Big hits to the inside wall. Meanwhile, Ed Harris takes the lead out front. Mayor Bixler, Tim Chapman, and caution comes out. With 6 laps left to go. Let's take another look at that incident up ahead, or up at the front. Now keep an eye on Greg Boydell as he comes down trying to follow Ed to the bottom, but comes across the nose of Terry Landis. And both of them hit the wall hard. Both of them getting shot up into the air, but they both keep on trucking. Ed Harris still has the lead, followed by Mayor Bixler, Tim Chapman, Pat Boyce, and Cale Bixler. And the lights have gone out as they get ready for the restart. Could be the final restart of the night. They'll have 4 laps to go when the green flag drops. Remember, it'll take them about a lap and a half to get the trucks to full speed. But a lot of times, a lot of ground can be made up. Just getting through the gears a little bit faster, or timing your moves just right on the restart, you can pick up a lot of ground on that first green flag lap. Remember, they cannot pass to the inside before the start-finish line, but they can pass up on the high side, likely to see it 3 wide very quickly. All right, here they come out of turn 4. Pace car dives in for the, whoa! Whoa! They'll be delaying the caution. No. The green flag is out. They will throw the caution. And let's see if we can figure out what the heck just happened. Alright, looking down from the blimp as they come toward the start. Oh, looks like a bad bump on the restart. Or not even on the restart, just getting ready. Just one bad bump as everybody was trying to anticipate the green flag, but it all went wrong there. Stacked everybody back behind into the mess. Four and a half years I've been broadcasting iRacing. Actually, almost 5 years now. That's a first. Ed Harris trying to find the pace car for the rest of the field. There it is. Up on the front straightaway, so they'll get there and likely stack right up. But it does look like we're going to see this go. Likely going to be a 2-lap battle to the finish. As we will go to a green-white checker. Ed Harris, Mayor Bixler will have the front row. Tim Chapman and Pat Boyce on the second. Hobbs Cramner and Armando Melgoza on the third row. Greg Boydell, Bob Curtis on the fourth. Stu Wright, Andy Patton rounding out the top 10. John Tobias, Cale Bixler, Roger Craig, and Terry Landis round out the field. Only one driver out of the race. Mr. Maurer out. Nobody came to pit road, so everybody able to stack up quickly. But it does look like they will get one more pace lap. And then a 2-lap shootout to see who's going to be in victory lane tonight. Lights are out on the pace car. Will it be one of the two sitting on the front row, or is somebody coming from behind to steal the win tonight? I'm betting they will be a little bit more careful on this restart, but can only be so careful when it's a green-white checkered finish. All right, here they come out of turn 4. Pace car dives to pit road for the final time. And here we go. Green flag is in the air. The green-white checker is underway at Daytona. Who will be in victory lane? Ed Harris quickly shoots out ahead. Tim Chapman right back to his bumper. Pops Cramner trying to get to the high side, but nowhere to go. Mayor Bixler leads that outside line. Oh, no! We've got multiple trucks around. Armando Melgoza comes through unscathed. He might be the only one. The caution is out. We'll get another green-white checkered. Looks like Greg Boydell, Cale Bixler, Roger Craig, Pat Boyce, Tim Chapman, Andy Patton, and most of the field got caught up. Let's take a look at this. And looked like a bad bump once again. Looking down from above. Yeah, just a bad bump to Ed Harris. And it just kept piling in back behind. Greg Boydell goes down to the apron. He makes it through. A couple other guys make it through, but about half the field got caught up in it. Everybody getting stacked up, ready to go. Lights are out on the pace car. The final attempt at the green-white checkered. Mayor Bixler and Armando Melgoza have the front row. Greg Boydell, Bob Curtis on the second row. Stu Wright, Cale Bixler on the third row. John Tobias, Roger Craig, Pops Cramner, and Terry Landis round out the field. As they head off into turns 3 and 4. Who will it be? They'll have 2 laps to sort it out. All right, here they come out of turn 4. You know, every one of them is thinking about what they're going to have to do in the next 2 laps. Less than 2 minutes around this track. Pace car is in. And the green flag is back in the air. The outside line doesn't get going. One of the trucks on the high side did not get going. Mayor Bixler may have gotten too far out front. Trucks having problems back behind. Pat Boyce, Pops Cramner, Roger Craig in trouble. Pat Boyce has gone to pit road as Armando has a run up top. Harry Landis looking to the high side to make it 3 wide. Not yet. But Armando lost his help and fades. Mayor Bixler has the lead. Push from Boydell. And here we go. The white flag flies one more time around. And whoa, big bottles into turn 1. The inside line prevails through the turns. Mayor Bixler out front. A lot of bumping going on. A few drivers look below the white line. Everybody looking for anywhere to go. Mayor Bixler's got a mirror full of Greg Boydell. Here we go out of turn 4. Bixler's got it. He's got the push from Boydell. They're wrecking across the line, but Mayor Bixler gets it done. Greg Boydell comes home in second. Andy Patton finishes in third. And wow. And it looked like Andy passed about half the field. Let's take a quick look. As they go off into the turn, Andy right there at the back, but a little bit of chaos up ahead definitely helped him grab a spot. Then this chaos popping off back behind. Andy there in the 87 just keeps his position but doesn't try and advance. Doesn't make any moves as they come out of turn 4. Just puts it on the bottom. And then boom, it all pops off and Andy ends up in third. Well, that was definitely an interesting finish. We'll talk to your top 3 here in just a moment, but don't forget to come back tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, C12 Motorsports Gen 4 Series is back on track. Let's get a word with Andy. Andy, I have to say, you started the last lap at the back, and we just looked at how you managed to pass most of the field in one lap.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's sometimes it's just better to be lucky, huh?
It really is. That was
I was just in the right place. I wasn't for the rest of the race, though.
You definitely had a rough early part of the race, but that last lap has to have made up for all of it.
Yeah, that was fun. I wasn't sure where I was going to come out. I was just trying to miss everything that was happening. And then all of a sudden I see him on the podium. I said, look at that.
Well, it definitely worked out in your favor, man. You held that line and you held it cool, and it worked out perfectly, bud. Congratulations.
Thanks, you, man.
Anybody?
It's good to finally get to talk to you, man. Every time I've been in here, I haven't had Discord, so I couldn't talk to you.
That is true. I'd forgotten about that, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Man, a great job. It is great to finally talk to you. Is there anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I think the sponsor is the Amask Avenger, and I definitely want to thank them because they have like a start zone. They had a finish line. They had the whole deal tonight, man. It was excellent. So I'd really like to thank them, Amask Avengers. You for doing your job, man. I listened to you while I'm driving, man. It's excellent. You do a great job.
Well, thank you much, man, and a great job by you tonight. Great job.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Andy Patton comes home in third. Greg Boydell in second. Greg, I was wondering if you were going to make the move as you guys came down the front straightaway. It looked like you had a run for a second, but then everything went haywire and you just kind of settled in behind Bixler.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I had no clue of who or what was on my outside, so I just stuck there and pushed Steve.
Well, it definitely worked in your favor. I mean, you come on with the podium, and I think had you made the move when it looked like you were starting to peak, you probably would have gotten caught up in that mess up on the high side.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know who was there and what was going on, so I thought better safe than sorry. Second's better than 12th.
That is definitely true, and more people should learn from that philosophy. But man, it was a great job. The first part of the race really went wrong for you, but you definitely made one heck of a comeback tonight.
I appreciate that, Doug. Yeah, I was quick early on, but I was just wrong place, wrong time. That happens.
Oh, it definitely does, but man, one heck of a comeback. Congratulations. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Masked Avenger Racing, and we want to give a call out to Bill Calder. He's not feeling well again, so he's going to be missing in action, I think, for a few weeks. But yeah.
Well, hopefully we see him back soon. Yep, he is definitely having a rough go of it. But man, a great job from you tonight. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug. I appreciate it. And thanks again for coming out and hanging out with us.
My pleasure, buddy. And finally, our winner, Mayor Bixler. Steve, I've been wanting to ask you for a while now. I understand some of the nicknames that the crew has, but I have no clue how you got the nickname the Mayor.
Well, I am the mayor of Clarence, Iowa.
Okay, well, that would explain it.
We're about 2 hours from Knoxville. If you're a sprint car fan, you don't know where anything's at or anything, but you do know where Knoxville is.
I think everybody knows where Knoxville is, and if you don't, what's wrong with you? But, man, that is pretty cool, and it's definitely cool to see you in Victory Lane tonight, man. Great job, and honestly, how much were you watching the mirror on the last lap?
I looked, I knew Greg was behind me, and I thought, I got to stay on this bottom because he gets a nose underneath me, and it's all over. And it's a good thing we had a second green-white checkered because Ed checked out, and I was on the high side, and I was getting freight train up there. So then, like I said, we had that second green-white checkered, and like I said, I just had to stick it on the bottom and, don't give up that bottom.
No, you definitely don't give up the bottom. I saw guys on the last lap looking under the yellow line and thought we were going to see some chaos, bigger chaos, I should say, coming to the checkered. But, man, it was a great job, a great defensive move. And Greg said he realized when things went crazy up top, he was better off finishing second than 12th, and that definitely worked in your favor. But it was one heck of a fight tonight, man. Great job.
Thanks, Doug. I want to do a quick shout out to Bill Calder. He's had some health issues here lately, a little under the weather, so I want to give a shout out to him first and foremost. He's the leader of the Salty Dogs.
Well, definitely, and a huge shout out to Bill, and hopefully he gets to feeling better and we see him back soon. But man, anybody else you'd like to thank?
Oh, I got to thank, of course, Mauer Farm Management and the Masked Avengers. For Retreads, our Retread sponsors there, and of course Flatline Racing Bodies, and Blake Chapman. Blake's helped me a little bit with my racing here a little bit, so I got a big shout out to him too, and Steve's Custom Golf Clubs.
Well, man, great job, a great win. You earned it tonight. Congratulations.
All right, thanks, Doug.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget more racing tomorrow night, Thursday night. Lots of racing to come. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hope you all had as much fun as we did. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.